What is up, people? What is up? Okay, so about to do another poem today. It's been a little while since the last one, but yeah, it's time for another one, methinks. It's time for another poetry session. This one is called The Rules of Men, and it was written way back in 2013, so about 5-ish years ago, give or take. And let me do this a little bit of preamble. So this was written at a time when something happened with a friend of mine that upset me, and it reminded me of other times throughout my life where similar things have happened that upset me as well, and how I've dealt with it, or not knowing how to deal with it. Just the whole idea of because you're a man, you're supposed to be tough, you're supposed to be this, supposed to be that, and all that kind of thing. So it was always been difficult to know what you're supposed to do when things upset you, when you have certain feelings. And so when this thing happened about 5 years ago, it reminded me of all those times. I wanted to write something that kind of dealt with that feeling of not knowing what you're supposed to do, and that's the inspiration behind this piece. I do feel like since writing this, though, the way I deal with being upset or being angry or being pissed off has changed. I do believe it's improved. Maybe because I wrote this, that subconsciously, something happened that made me improve. I haven't thought about this poem for a long time, but maybe something happened subconsciously that made me improve. Or maybe it's something else, I don't know. I do feel like I've improved since then. So this is very much a snapshot of various parts of my life where either I didn't know how to deal with it, or maybe dealt with it wrong, or that sort of thing. Also, we'll say this as well, that after reading through this, I'm very aware of how it sounds. Okay, I'm very aware of how it sounds, and it's not that. Okay, it's not that. No judgment on anybody, but Haze, don't get down like that, okay? But yeah, it's not that. I know how it sounds. It's not that. It was a friend, and just trying to deal with those feelings and deal with those emotions. So that's what this is about. And yeah, it's called The Rules of Men, written back in 2013. Here we go. It's the little things you do that upset me the most. When you say that you're coming, then don't. When you don't reply to messages asking you to come on by. When I see you, we talk as if everything is fine. I'll wait for you to give me a reason, because I need to believe you don't do this deliberately, but you don't mention it. I don't know if I'm supposed to. It's the little things you do that upset me the most. That time you went to a party and said all your friends were present, but I wasn't. So what am I to you? I suppose it was just rhetoric. Maybe I'm too pedantic. I just don't know anymore where I figure into this. And when I think of it, it was you that above all else made me feel welcome. It was you that above all else made me feel like maybe there is somewhere I belong. After years of always being on the outside looking in, I'm too ugly for the handsome, too handsome for the ugly, too stupid for the smart, too smart for the stupid, too white for the blacks, too black for the whites. But with you, it was always just right. And most guys just want to drink beer and talk about football. I don't drink or understand football. I mean, I understand the rules. I don't understand why men choose to watch it. Chomsky theorized that we're given sports to keep our minds off the real issues of the world, but most men don't want to talk about Chomsky. But with you, we could talk about anything, from past discretions to future ambitions. We would talk about everything. We would go everywhere. And for me, it was one of the most significant parts of my life. But when they asked you what you did, you said, nothing special. How is this supposed to make me feel? I can't admit this hurts. It's against the rules of men. Even when the weight is too much for my smile to hold, I am supposed to go outside and pretend it doesn't matter. Pretend I never gave it a second thought. Pretend that I don't need to talk about it. And I try. So hard, I try. But how can I? How can I when it does matter? How can I when it's all I can think about? How can I when the one person I thought I could go to with my problems is the problem? But the thing is, I know that when I see you, I will believe anything you tell me. I will find a way to pretend you didn't upset me, because I want these moments to last. I want to go back to how it was in the past, when it was just you and I against the world, but that doesn't happen. Instead, you go back to be with your other friends, and I sit alone and wish for death. I can't cry in front of men because they will say I am weak. I refuse to cry in front of you because I no longer believe you deserve it. I can't cry alone because the loneliness is too depressing. And maybe I'm stressing over nothing. Maybe I'm just paranoid and imagine it. Maybe this is why I'm single. Maybe this is why I'm so miserable. Because I overthink everything, even things that are trivial. Or maybe if you had just been there when I needed you, like I was for you, every time. The men say, get over it. You act as if it never happened. And I just wish I could cry. But who is willing to lend me their shoulder, knowing they may never get it back again? And that was The Rules of Men, written back in 2013. So, yeah, I do believe that I've improved. As I was saying there, I think I've improved the way I deal with being upset since then. Now, and again, it's not to say you're never going to get upset. Certain reactions and certain emotions, they're natural to feel, but I think the difference between how I am now, and how I was back then and before is where I would say dwell in certain emotions. Now I've learned more to look beyond that and say, okay, well, things upset you. There's two things that happen. One, you're either being paranoid and it's nothing, right? It's just you overthinking something, or there genuinely is a problem. This person doesn't really respect you or value you as a friend. Either way, it's not worth thinking about. If you're being paranoid and nothing's happening, then everything's really cool. You're just upsetting yourself. But if there's somebody who doesn't really value as a friend, then they do not deserve your mind space. So either way, you just learn to look past it and not let it bother you, and you just do something else, take off your mind, play a video game, watch a movie, whatever. But I've learned to not live in those moments that upset you, because no matter how you figure it out, one way or the other, it's just not worth that emotion. So but yeah, let me know what you think of that. Let me know how you deal with being upset. Let me know if you're having issues, if you're not having issues, if you have other ways of dealing with it. Let me know what you think of the poem. Let me know what you think of all the videos and stuff. But yeah, that's gonna be all for now. So guys, if you like this video, give it a like and share it amongst your friends. If you did not like it, then give it a dislike and share it amongst your enemies. You can check out more videos over here, comedy channel over there, subscribe and follow me around the web over there. All links in the description. But that is all for now. So thank you for watching, and until whenever, if ever, I missed the quote, whatever. Peace out, y'all.